Hello and welcome. Today we are going to discuss an essential aspect of employment contracts in India, the protection of intellectual property rights, IPR clause. From an employee's perspective, let us explore its scope and delve into the do's and don'ts. The intellectual property rights clause is a crucial provision in employment contracts that aims to protect the employer's intellectual property assets such as inventions, patents, copyrights, trademarks, and trade secrets. It ensures that the employer retains exclusive rights to these valuable assets. From an employer's perspective, the IPR clause has several key objectives. Let us take a look at its scope. Number 1. Ownership of intellectual property. The IPR clause clarifies that any intellectual property created by the employee during the course of their employment belongs to the employer. It ensures that the employer has full rights and control over the intellectual property assets developed within the scope of employment. Number 2, protection of trade secrets. The clause safeguards the employer's trade secrets, confidential information, proprietary processes, formulas, or any other sensitive information that provides a competitive advantage. It prohibits employees from disclosing or using such information outside the scope of their employment. Number 3, innovation and R&D protection. The IPR clause encourages innovation by ensuring that any new innovations, discoveries, or creative works developed by employees during their employment are the property of the employer. It fosters a culture of innovation and protects the results of research and development efforts. Now, let us discuss some important do's for employers when implementing the IPR clause. Number 1, clear definition and scope. Clearly define the types of intellectual property covered by the clause, such as patents, copyrights, trademarks, or trade secrets. Specify the scope of ownership, including creations made during working hours, using company resources, or related to the employer's business. Number 2, confidentiality measures. Implement appropriate measures to maintain the confidentiality of trade secrets and proprietary information. Use confidentiality agreements, access controls, and secure storage systems to prevent unauthorized access or disclosure. Number 3, employee education and awareness. Educate employees about the importance of protecting intellectual property and their obligations under the IPR clause. Conduct training sessions to raise awareness of best practices for handling sensitive information and avoiding infringement. Number 4, collaboration and documentation. Encourage employees to document their work, inventions, or creative works and collaborate with the employers in identifying and protecting intellectual property. Establish processes for timely disclosure and evaluation of new intellectual property. Now let us talk about some important don'ts for employers when implementing the IPR clause. Don't assume automatic ownership. Avoid assuming automatic ownership of all intellectual property created by employees. Clearly outline the parameters under which the employer has ownership rights. ensuring it aligns with legal requirements and the nature of the employee's role. Number 2, don't infringe employee rights. Respect the rights of employees and ensure that the IPR clause does not infringe upon their individual rights, such as their moral rights as creators or the right to receive fair compensation for their work. Number 3, don't overreach. Avoid overreaching by excessively broad clauses that may restrict employees' future career prospects or limit their ability to exercise their skills and expertise outside the scope of their employment. To recap, the IPR clause plays a crucial role in protecting the employer's intellectual property, trade secrets, and fostering innovation. Remember these key points. These are very important points. Clearly define the types and scope of intellectual property covered. Implement confidentiality measures and educate employees. Encourage collaboration and documentation. Respect employee rights and avoid overreaching. By implementing an effective IPR clause, employers can safeguard their valuable intellectual property assets and promote a culture of innovation and creativity. Thank you for watching and see you next time.